it would disconnect. The technology would disconnect, so he never got a word in, number one. Number two, he had just got out of the hospital.
Are we still gonna go with this? This is your excuse that he just got out of the hospital. So why is he debating to begin with, if that's the case? All right, guys, welcome back. This one's a late night episode. I figured I had to just make the video because everybody and their mother is making this video right now, and I just wanted to give a follow up. So for some of my subscribers, I want to give a follow up video on the one that I made regarding Billy Carson pretty much going on the interview and getting exposed. I know some of you guys wanted a follow up and see exactly what is happening with the person that he debated, which it was Wesley Huff. Well, we're gonna cover some of the clips today, especially since there's a lot more to the story regarding the interview. So let's go ahead and get a few clips up in here. Just so you guys know, he is, and by he, I mean Billy Carson is actually suing Wesley Huff. So let's take a look.
Billy Carson is attempting to sue me. For those of you who don't know, I was invited to interact with Billy on a podcast that he agreed to come on. It was not his podcast, where he was notified beforehand who I was and what we'd be talking about. After that debate took place, Billy attempted to suppress the footage. That didn't really work. I've released clips from that conversation.
And by suppressing the footage, he actually went to his friend's house, which he was the moderator of the actual podcast that took place, which he happened to live in the same community as Billy. He went to his house somewhere between 12 and 2 a.m. with basically a legal document saying, do not put this information out, meaning the interview.
Well, Billy does not want you to see those clips and has sent me a cease and desist letter. I was really hoping that this could be an opportunity for Billy to learn, to see the major errors that he's been repeating and turn this into a learning experience. I even offered to follow up with Billy in order to show him how and where he could find accurate and credible resources in order to make sure that what he was saying was verifiably correct going forward in the future, so he and his audience could learn and proceed knowledgeably. Billy did not agree. But unfortunately for Billy, agreeing to a debate, losing that debate, and feeling embarrassed about that loss does not constitute legitimate grounds to litigate. Billy, I will agree to all the terms and conditions of the cease and desist letter that you have sent me if you agree to run it back, sit down with me in person, and have another discussion.
Billy's not gonna do that.
This is my formal response.
Billy's not going to do that for the simple fact that Billy pretty much got torched. He got torched in that interview. He's calling it an ambush. I believe Billy's wife actually came on board as well. She came online sometime yesterday basically stating that it was an ambush. Her husband was sick, almost died. He was in the hospital. So the fact that he was even having this interview was uncalled for. Just the overall excuse for taking this massive L. I think I have another clip here as well. So here's a clip of his wife. Let's see.
Unfortunately, this defendant number one and now defendant number two had a whole thing planned to attack him. So as he went over there, I'm going to show you guys a picture to show you I'm not lying. This is him over there. Look at his arm during the debate.
Mind you, you guys can watch the debate for yourselves. I have it down in the other videos. The man was having a debate. That's just what it was. The man was having a debate. Whether or not he gave the answer he wanted to give, that's on him. But he's also been given the same answers for years. So whether or not he was sick, his answers did not change whatsoever during this interview.
Debate. Look at his arm. He just got out of the hospital. Look at his arm. He had just got out of the hospital.
Right. Mind you, no one forced him to debate. If he was sick, he just didn't have to show up. Honestly, it was probably best if he didn't show up because otherwise, he wouldn't have gotten exposed. But I'm glad he did, and I'm glad he did get exposed for what he really is.
According to the Sinai Bible, okay, according to the Sinai Bible, Jesus wasn't crucified in that Bible. That Bible predates the King James Version of the Bible. In Egypt, what did he go there for? To learn the Egyptian mysteries. Who taught the Egyptian mysteries? Thoth, the Atlantean priest king. And so Thoth was the teacher of the Egyptian mysteries, or the ancient mysteries, of what it was called. And then he leaves there and he goes to Tibet to learn Qigong and Reiki healing. And then he heads down into India to learn the mystic arts, teaching reincarnation all the way back. Or,
mind you, these same answers are literally the same answers that he gave during the actual interview. So whether or not he was sick, it doesn't really matter. The fact is that he did the interview, he got torched, and now for taking this massive L, he's basically suing the host of the podcast, Wesley Huff, which he's the one that he debated. I believe he's also suing and the person that does his marketing as well, which is pretty crazy. Let's see.
Bible verses, and it was going to be moderated by a very famous person, a very famous pastor, and it was going to be respectful, produced nicely, and not doctored.
First of all, the interview was not doctored. The interview was pretty much unedited. For like I said, you guys can see it on the channel. The interview was unedited, and whether or not they wanted to have a formal debate, it doesn't matter. You went in there thinking it was going to be a conversation. The debate was basically like a conversation, but you just got really exposed when you got pressed, when Wes started, asking you specific questions that you couldn't give an answer to. Mind you, these are your methodologies to begin with, and when you can't defend your own argument, now you have a problem. But with that being said, let's see what she has to say.
Back to this interview. He went over there, sat down, couldn't get a word in.
That's a lie. He spoke a lot.
As soon as he would try to rebuttal anything, the video on defendant number 2.
By defendant number 2, she's referring to Wesley Huff. His video kept going in and out. I think it lasted like 20, 25 seconds, something like that. And she's claiming that it was on purpose.
It would disconnect. The technology would disconnect, so he never got a word in, number 1. Number two, he had just got out of the hospital.
Are we still gonna go with this? This is your excuse that he just got out of the hospital. So why is he debating to begin with? If that's the case, let me put it this way: if by any chance Billy was the one to actually win this debate, which is a far stretch to begin with, this wouldn't have been a problem. If anything, they would have ran with this and said, "Look, he can even be a scholar after he leaves the hospital. This is insane." So just because it didn't go in your favor doesn't mean that it was incorrect.
That's the whole point. Why is it even a debate going on, for one? And for two, why is it going on while Billy
Who is this girl again?
is not even 100% himself?
He's not himself.
And
He
you
literally
can see it in
He's not himself, but he's giving the same answers he's been giving for years. So I don't understand that. Make that make sense, because the math ain't mathing.
the video. And then people want to talking about a debate and he got cooked and all this other stuff. Really?
He did get cooked. He got cooked hard.
This man almost died.
How can a person fully function? Do you understand how the brain operates? He couldn't even breathe.
He couldn't even breathe.
His whole purpose of being there was to support his boy.
Support his boy. He got cooked, son. I don't know what to tell you.
He thought he was going there for his boy. So this is a lesson for everyone. Careful who you trust. Be careful.
Be careful who you trust. He basically just said, "Listen, bro, let's have a conversation. You want to come on the podcast?" Billy said yes. He could have said no. And he knew exactly who he was going to go on the podcast with.
Careful who you call your friend, because they'll wait for some of your weakest moments.
Notice how she can't even say that with a straight face. She's literally about to laugh right now because she knows exactly what she's saying is complete BS.
And they will attack you. In this weakest moment of Billy's,
Look at her,
he
look at her.
showed up with his boy, thinking he's helping his boy out. Little did he know it was a damn ambush.
It was an ambush right after this man had just gotten off tour from another country, almost died, spent days and nights in the hospital.
And if you don't
Needles
believe us, it's a video
everywhere.
out there. If you keep track of the days, you talking about receipts. We made a turkey video around the time when it happened. So we're not making this up. Where Billy himself and Elizabeth, they talked about the illness. They talked about him almost dying.
No, you know what's going on? Let me tell you what's going on. They're basically scared that this is gonna be a lost cause for their revenue because apparently, I forgot where I heard this from, but they make about $8 million a year selling this BS and selling all their little snake oils or whatever the heck they got going on over there, all based on lies. But you know what? I am glad that that happened. And with that being said, I'm going to show you guys also Wes Huff's YouTube channel, right? So his actual YouTube channel pretty much blew up. He went from basically having, last time I checked, which I think it was on Friday or Saturday, having between 10 to 15,000 subscribers, all of a sudden to over 108,000. See, this is what I like about stuff like this, and when this happens and when God puts his hand on everything, that he just kind of makes it explode, is that people like this, actual scholars and actual people that know what they're talking about, should be getting the attention that they deserve, not Billy. All right, Billy has millions of subscribers, millions and billions of views, and it's all spreading lies. This, on the other hand, I can get behind. An actual scholar that knows what he's talking about now is getting tons and tons of views. And mind you, these were like at 10,000, you know, some of them had hundreds of views. Now they're getting hundreds of thousands of views. All thanks to this. So Billy's blowing up everywhere. My kudos to him. And yeah, I just wanted to give a quick little update on the situation. Basically, to run it down, he's suing the host of the podcast, suing Billy, suing his marketing guy, all because you took a massive L in an interview. That's it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Does he have any legal ground behind this? Because I personally don't think so. Last time I checked, you just took an L, take it like a man. And if anything, you should look into Christianity, because that's what's really going to save you, not this new age crap that you're trying to push on everybody else. But with that being said, catch you guys in the next one.